Hi, Cliff fans, and welcome to another of my polls of Cliff related top 10s. And this time I'm going to do top 10 movies. Now, I did a video of this the other day and I decided not to upload it because I just figured I was just rambling on. It was too long. It was something like 15 minutes. So I want to get this down to about 5 minutes and just tell you my top 10 Cliff movies. So, at number 10, it's not really a Cliff movie, so I cheated a little bit because he didn't make that many movies, so I cheated a little bit. So, number 10 for me is His Land, which is more like a documentary, but I really recommend you watch this because it's Cliff in 1969, and I think he actually looks fantastic, and there's a couple of good songs in there, and it's an interesting story as well. So, number 10, His Land. Number 9, I've cheated again. And I had to cheat because I wanted to make a top 10, and I don't think Cliff has made top 10 movies. So, I put in Heathcliff. And it's Cliff acting. So, is it a cheat? Is it a movie? I don't know. It's more of a movie than His Land, so. So, Heathcliff is number 9, and I will say that I never got to see this live. I think it was only about 20 at the time, and I was living in Belgium for part of the year. I was traveling around I was doing my thing as 20-year-olds do. So I didn't get to see this live. So I'm so glad we have this on DVD and video, and it's fantastic. The music is fantastic. Cliff is fantastic. It's his last time we seen Cliff acting, and I hope he does something else similar, but maybe not. And yeah, so Heathcliff's number 9. Number 8 is Cliff's movie debut, Serious Charge. Really great film. Actually, I think it is a really great film. The only criticism I have is that Cliff isn't in it enough. It's only a small little bit part that he was just thrown into the film to make him appeal to younger people, even though younger people weren't allowed to watch it, which is a bit crazy. But yeah, Serious Charge, it's actually a good movie, and Anthony Quayle is absolutely fantastic in the movie. But again, Cliff, in my opinion, should have had more songs and more lines. So, and speaking of lines, number 7 for me is, I consider this Cliff's best acting. I think Cliff actually considers this his best acting, and it was Two a Penny, and it's a really good film. And as I say, Cliff's best acting, as far as I'm concerned. And there's some good songs in it. There's not enough songs in it, in my opinion. There's only like 3. I think he only does one on screen, which is Twist and Shout, which isn't the best version of Twist and Shout that I've ever heard, but it's worth watching, and I like this movie. Number 6, Wonderful Life. And this film isn't considered a favourite with a lot of people because I think it was a year after Summer Holiday, so I think people's expectations were a little bit high because that's such a fantastic movie. But for On the Beach and A Matter of Moments, I think it's worth watching, even just for them 2 songs. And Cliff looks fantastic. In 1964, I think Cliff and the Shadows are actually the top of their game, and the music is absolutely fantastic. The story isn't great, but who cares? It's Cliff and the Shadows. Wonderful Life. Number 5 is a film that I wore out when I was a kid. I had this on VHS when I was a kid, and I had it worn out because I absolutely love watching this movie over and over again. And I transferred it to DVD. I have a couple of copies of it on DVD, different formats, but they're all kind of bootleg. So I'd like to see an official release of this DVD. It's a good film. I think the music is better than the movie, and it's Take Me High. Number 4, I have to mention the Beatles again. It's kind of, I think this was their attempt at trying to make a movie at the same kind of um, style as the Beatles in Help and the Monkeys TV series, which were two huge things at the time. So you can see why they want to cash in on that. And it was the first time you've seen Cliff and the Shadows acting together properly. And it's finders keepers. And the music in this movie is absolutely fantastic. I think the Shadows top of their game. With songs like Time Drags By. It's like, yeah, I love this movie. Number 4. Number 3, I don't think people will have in their top 3. But I have it in my top 3 because I love the 50s. I love Cliff. Early career. I absolutely love it. And this is the closest thing we get to see Cliff at that time on screen. And it's Espresso Bongo. And again, I feel like Cliff should have had more lines. He should have had more songs in the movie. But I'm not going to complain too much because I love this movie. Lawrence Harvey is absolutely fantastic in the movie. And yes, so number 3 is Espresso Bongo. Now, number 1 and number 2 depends on what day it is. Could be either one of them because I mixed them up. It could have been, it did, like at number 2 I have today, I have The Young Ones, which tomorrow could be number 1. But it's a great movie. Cliff looks fantastic in it. It's a decent enough story. It's a really good story, and the songs are fantastic. You get to see the Shadows doing the Savage, which is savage. And my favorite part of the movie is when Cliff comes out and sings "We Say Yeah," which I just got goosebumps when I was about, I don't know what age was I when I was first seeing that. When I was a kid, it was probably the first time I ever got goosebumps looking at another bloke on screen, and it was The Young Ones. So number 1, no surprise, I think this is everybody's favourite. I don't know, maybe, but lots of people agree this is Cliff's best movie. I think Cliff considers this his best movie as well, and it's Summer Holiday. And there's some really good songs in it. The Next Time is in this movie, which is, as I said before, my favourite Cliff song of the 60s. And what else does he sing in that movie? He sings Bachelor Boy, Dancing Shoes. It's just the ultimate feel-good movie. And today, this is number 1 in my top 10. Summer Holiday. So that was my top 10. I'd be interested to hear your top 10 if you want to leave a comment below, if you feel inclined. And thank you once again.